Do you have a Lincoln Electric Weldpak 125 HD that's flux core and you've always wanted to convert it to gas? Well, let me show you this extremely simple process on how you can convert your welder if you have one of the ones that are able to be converted into a MIG gas welder. For my research, you will need one of two things. You will need your welder to have the settings dial with the options for gas. So mine, you can see, has the separate gases that are allowed by the welder to use. And then head around to your back and you should have this port right over here for the option to add gas. If you don't see this port cover, yours is unfortunately flux core only and you're not able to do it. Mine is code 11302, so if you have a similar welder, we should be able to convert it. Now let's get started. To do this conversion, you'll need a few things. You will need an 8mm socket, hopefully on an impact. That'll make it way easier. You'll also need a flathead screwdriver, especially if you don't have an 8mm socket, to get these guys off. You'll also need a 24-volt solenoid. You can use different manufacturers. This is just the one I picked up on Amazon. It's about $20. You want one that is normally closed. So when it doesn't have power, you want it to be closed so you're not, wasting your gas. We'll also need one of these guys. I'm not sure what this adapter is called, but this allows you to connect up your regulator to it. You'll need a hose barb. This is a 3/16 one for the hose that is in the welder. And then you will also need a set of these. These are this is the diffuser for the gas. And then your MIG nozzle. You just screw in. Here's your diffuser where your gas is going to be coming out of. And then the nozzle. The factory gun does not have these. The factory gun just has a contact tip and then a flux core nozzle. Okay, let's get started. We're going to remove all these bolts. These are 8mm or 1/2-inch flathead. You're going to remove all these guys, including the hinge ones. And there's one screw hidden in this handle part. And then you'll need to open the cover to get this top cover off. So these screws are a lot shorter than these two screws. Just remember, these guys are tiny. Those ones are pretty large. Big screws, little screws. So with the cover off, Lincoln Electric has made this extremely easy to swap in your kit. So if you following along these wires, these two that have a connector on them and are just sitting over here, connected to nothing, these are for your solenoid. And then this hose, right, this greasy, nasty looking hose, so if you follow it, it goes inside, right? And then that hose actually goes out to your gun. So it's already from the factory plumbed up with the air line to your gun, and then the other end is just pushed into here. So you'll just need to cut that to add your solenoid. And then this is the solenoid, and then you pop out this cover. Literally slide this in this way. You just want to observe which way says airflow, because that's very, very important. That arrow. So you want it to go in this way, down that way. As the arrow shows, airflow that way. So your gas is going into the welder, not sucking stuff back out. So all I'm going to do is pop out this cover, position my solenoid here, and then I'll figure out a way to make a little bracket and maybe screw it here, 3D print something just so it holds this solenoid in there. Now, very important, you got your transformer, this guy here, that makes the welder work right here. So you do not want to have your solenoid touching that stuff, or else it's going to be a very bad day for everything. So your solenoid, these wires I have are bare. I'll just crimp on 2 connectors for the solenoid, and then run this guy out. Make sure to use Teflon on these so they don't leak inside your welder for your welding gas. So to mount my solenoid, I 3D printed a bracket here. So it's just the solenoid will sit on this bracket here. And then on the other side of this bracket, I made a screw hole. So this actual, what's it called? This part actually screws into my bracket and into the solenoid. And then I put 4 heat thread inserts into my plastic part that uses M4 bolts so that I can screw this in. And I mean, this guy's not going anywhere. It's super solid. When that was done, I just cut off the extra long wires and then plugged in 2 spade connectors in here. And then I'll just throw some electric tape on there because my wires are sticking out just a little bit. Electric tape that. And then this hose that runs for the gas, I just ran into this this connector here. That's just this 3/16 Barb connector that I screwed into the solenoid with thread locking tape or PTFE tape, and then secured via hose clamp that also is not going anywhere. And now we just need to focus on our hose. Okay, so we have our Lincoln, this is the Magnum 100L, the one that comes with this gun. So I have this flux core cap on here, and when you look up close, you can see that this is the actual diffuser, this guy here. It's an actual diffuser that you can use already. So if you don't have this guy, you can use this one. This one's set up for gas already. That being said, I am still changing this out. I don't know how many years it's been in service, so we're going to remove our contact tip first. We're going to remove our diffuser. We're going to grab our new diffuser. I'm going to grab our new contact tip. And then we're going to grab our MIG nozzle here. Or our gas nozzle, you can say. Okay, it's all set up. All you got to do is switch your polarity, hook up some gas, and it should be good to go. Before that, let's test the solenoid just to make sure it will work. So with the welder on, so the solenoid is indeed working. Let's put everything back now. So here we have the welder. It is all set up. I went out to the store and picked up some ER70S-6. Loaded it onto the welder. I switched my polarity. And then hooked up my gas to the back of the welder. And then let's turn this guy on here. Okay. And then I'm going to pull the trigger and watch the gas gauge. Probably turn it up a little bit. There we go. I hope you can hear that relay clicking. But this is no good. Let's go outside where it's minus 15 degrees. And then I have some small weld samples that I can weld up just to prove that it is in fact working. The gauge can hop, you know, it can make relay clicking noises, but if it can't weld, what good is it? So let's do that. So in case y'all are wondering how cold it actually is, it feels like -18, so warmed up a little bit with the wind. So I'm going to have to turn up my gas flow a little bit higher so that the wind doesn't blow away the gas on the MIG now. I got my samples. I'm just emotionally getting ready for having to go outside and weld, but I'm doing this for you, dear viewer, and anyone else who might want to be converting this this MIG into, or this flux core welder into MIG, so that way you can see it actually works and, you know, it's not clickbait or something. So here we have that first weld that I just did. Looks pretty clean, could use a little bit more gas coverage, but way better than flux core. This is where I was having feeding problems because I'm using the wrong drive roller for it. I'm still using that flux core one, and just having to guess the settings because I don't know what size material this is. I'm just guessing. So this was just like a trial piece. This also was a trial piece up until, you know, I got right over there where I figured it out. And then there was one of the first beads I ran. Looks pretty good for just a 125 Weld-Pak. That used to be a flux core. So much better, no soot to wipe off, nothing to mess with. You know, you just grab and go. And that's all there really is to converting your Lincoln Electric Weldpak 125 HD flux core welder into an actual MIG welder. So I've been welding with it for quite a little bit, and it welds really, really nice. That manual on the inside with all the charts looks like you actually got to burn just a little hotter than the book says. Because I checked it out for 10 gauge metal, it was recommending on 7525. It was recommending letter E and then the wire speed of 4. That for me was causing it to kind of hop around. When I dropped it down to like 3.5 or 3, it really burned in really, really well, really deep, and it sounded like frying bacon, which is what you're going for. So you might have to mess around with the settings because the chart hasn't been quite accurate from what I see. It probably will work for really, really thin really thin carbon steel stuff. I haven't done thin stuff because all I have is like, I don't know, 12 gauge and and lower and thicker. If you found this video helpful, stick around. I might have some other helpful videos coming around soon, particularly welders and some tips and tricks. Otherwise, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Enjoy your new welder.